Should you go into photography as a business or simply keep it a passion? In this video, we're going to talk about everything you should think about before making that decision. My name is Pi, and I'm one of the founders of Lynn and Jersa Photography and SLRLounge.com. We're teaming up with Adorama to bring you a new series of photography tutorials called Master Your Craft right here on Adorama TV. So let's dive in. What's up, friends? My name is Pi. Welcome to Adorama TV. So we recently launched a new podcast. It's called Think Stupid Simple. And it's my place just to invite on experienced and very informed guests looking to uncover stupid simple truths that we can use in life, in business, in relationships, in creativity, photography. And this is kind of going to be along that vein, meaning I'm going to take some of the concepts that we've discussed in the podcast and I'm going to bring it to you in photography form to help answer a very common question, which is, should I go into business as a photographer or simply keep photography my passion? Now, let me just say, there is something wonderful about passions and hobbies. I have many of them myself, from jiu-jitsu to racing cars for fun and even instructing high-performance driving to cycling and fitness and all these different things. I also love to cook. If I were to take any of those hobbies, any of those passions, and turn them into a profession, they're going to lose a lot of what it is that I love about them. If I have to rely on them to pay the bills, they're going to really become actually quite stressful. But how do we know what to actually look for when making that decision? I'm going to break this down to you in 5 different steps. So when looking at photography as a hobby versus a profession, here are the things that I want you to think about. Now, of course, you can watch the video if you like, or you can treat this like a podcast. Go do what you got to do and simply give it a listen. Hopefully I don't put you to sleep. Let's start with number 1, process versus efficiency. See, photography from the standpoint of a hobby can be all about the process. You can take as much time as you like. You can shoot however you like. Take time conceptualizing in the shooting process. You can take as much time editing, edit however you like. All of that is completely up to you. And honestly, a lot of it can become quite meditative. But from the standpoint of a business, well, you really have to incorporate efficiency into that equation. Yes, process is important, but efficiency takes an equal seat next to that artistic process. And in some cases, efficiency can actually win out. Let me tell you a story to drill this concept home. So I've got this friend, and he is an absolute coffee fanatic. He's been hounding me for months. Pi, you ain't never had good coffee till you've had my I don't know why he has a southern accent. It just happens when I do. Anyway, he's talking about his pour over, and I ain't never had good coffee until I've had his pour over. And finally, I get the chance. So we're staying in the same Airbnb together on an assignment, and he's like, I brought all my stuff. I'm going to make you the perfect cup of coffee. Now I wake up and I stand there in the kitchen as my buddy proceeds to make coffee for the next 30 minutes. And what is to come of it is 2 2-ounce cups about this big of what is actually the best tasting coffee that I've ever had. But of course, like a good friend, I hounded him about it. And I said, I can't believe you just spent 30 minutes doing this. Are you doing this every single morning? How do you have 30 minutes to make 2 ounces of coffee? This makes no sense. Now, when he started describing his love for it, I quickly realized that he's not just making coffee. This is his hobby. It's his passion. It's meditative for him. It's about the process. And if you value that, then you have to keep it that. Because if he were to open up a coffee shop, there ain't no way he's spending 30 minutes on 2 ounces of coffee unless he's charging $100 an ounce. It just doesn't work. Starbucks and every coffee shop does not operate that way. So eventually, well, process is important and getting to a good product is important, but efficiency is also equally as important. All right, so enough about that. Number 2 is expression versus formula. Let me explain what I mean here. See, if you approach photography from the standpoint of a hobby, then it can only be about your expression if that's what you want it to be, your creative expression. Meaning, You can choose whatever it is that you shoot. You can process however it is that you like. You can use whatever lens, whatever camera. It can be all about your vision throughout the entire process. But when you're approaching photography from the standpoint of a business, there's kind of some amount of formula involved there. Now, not that it doesn't take creative expression, but what I'm saying is the best businesses have a somewhat routine or formulaic approach to the product. Meaning, when you go to that place, when you order that thing, when you get that service as a customer, you kind of know what it is that you're getting. So most photographers are going to develop a style, and clients are going to hire them expecting them to stay within that style that they have seen and come to know. So if ultimate artistic expression and variety and variation and whatever it is that you want to shoot matters that much, then the business is going to be really difficult, because there's not that many clients that are going to write you a check and say, go create whatever it is that you want to create. I don't care how it turns out. They're going to give you a check and ask you to create that which you've become known for. This is why many professional photographers turn to personal work to bring back that creative expression, to bring back their ability to shoot whatever they want and have their own vision from start to finish. And it's something that I do as well. Número 3, self versus client. So photography as a business, you are serving a client, okay? Photography as your hobby, you serve yourself. You do what makes you happy, and you don't have to serve anybody else from that standpoint. From a business standpoint, this is what doesn't make sense to me, because it's very clear and easy to see that if you go into photography as a business, this is clearly a client-serving field. And yet, too often, I hear photographers complain about, well, their clients complain about, can you believe a client wanted this? Or I can't wait till the day that I never have to shoot weddings again. Or man, I'm just so tired of working with difficult portrait clients. And it blows my mind, because you have chosen a field that is inherently client serving. And that's kind of an issue. So if you're going into photography as a business, you have to appreciate the fact that you are in a client serving industry. Love your clients, because they're the ones paying the bills. Number 4 is freedom versus schedule. And this one's pretty easy to understand. So again, from the standpoint of photography as a hobby, you choose when you go out and shoot, what you want to shoot. If you don't feel like shooting, well, you don't have to go out and shoot. But when it comes to photography as a business, once again, you are contracted to go and do a job. That means, well, doesn't matter. Rain or shine, you're going to figure out a way to deliver professional images, to deliver the product that you are known for. For me, this has meant that oftentimes I'm out shooting when I really don't feel creative, and I have to find a way to get back to that place where I can create the product that I'm known for. I've been out and I've been shooting when I'm sick as a dog as well. On one specific wedding occasion, I remember standing in front of a family composed of like 16 people, and I basically just lost everything. I had a fever, chill, sweats, and I threw up right in front of them. It was not pleasant. And as soon as I finished, I was like, okay, we're gonna do this shot next. And they're like, are you okay? Do you need a minute? And I'm like, no, I'm good. Let's do this. I'll be fine. So freedom versus you gots to deliver. Keep it in mind. Number 5, and this one's arguably the most important piece, is understanding that photography and the business of photography are two entirely different things. See, photography is, as a hobby, fun. It's enjoyable. You go out and you do it when you want to do it, and you don't when you don't have to, right? But photography as a business, well, the actual shooting portion becomes a small piece of your day-to-day responsibilities. The business of photography is really 80% of what your Monday through Friday work is going to look like. And then the actual shooting, the actual photography, the creative aspect is going to be maybe 20% of your overall schedule. So of that 80%, it's going to consist of marketing, of going out and finding clients, of selling those clients, of taking money, delivering contracts, going and doing taxes, all the different administrative functions, the hiring, the management, everything that goes along with photography as a business. So that's important, because what you're taking on is far more than simply taking photographs. So remember that photography as a business is 80% business and 20% photography, versus photography as a passion or a hobby can be 100% photography and nothing else. So those are the 5 things that I would consider before going into photography as a business versus simply keeping it as your hobby or your passion. And if you know someone that's thinking through this process, send them this video. It's going to help them dramatically to understand exactly what kind of decision they're making and what world they're stepping into. And those expectations matter a lot to whether you're going to stick with it. Hopefully this was helpful. If you guys enjoyed this video, we have a whole incredible business training system that will get you up and running from learning the camera to running a successful studio. It's all there. So be sure to check that out. In the meantime, I'd love for you guys to subscribe to the Adorama TV channel. If you found the video helpful, give it a like and a thumbs up. Comment below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.